Is it in English? Yes. Because this is Storytel. And this is international world. Hi Quentin.
Hi Halli, nice to see you again. Blessed, gaman að sjá þig. Takk fyrir síðast. Og langt síðan.
We talked together, what is it, 8 years ago?
7 or 8 years ago, yeah.
7 or 8 years ago.
On the radio.
On the radio.
Yep.
You had just come out with your first book.
Yep, Frozen Out.
Did it first get published in Icelandic or in
Oh, it's never been published in Icelandic.
Never not. Okay.
No, it's been published in English, German, Dutch, Finnish and Estonian.
But you're a remarkable figure in the whole scene here in Iceland.
Thank you.
In the crime scene, because well, first of all, because you're a writer and you're written in Iceland, but now also lately, because you have become a very important conduit.
I'm one of the small group of translators.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a translator, well, it's not a big group. No.
Yeah, there's a handful of us.
Yeah. Bringing all the latest crime phenomena to the larger world. But tell us first a little bit about yourselves. How your connection to Iceland came to be.
It's a long story.
It is a long story of a seaman.
It goes back a long, long way. Well, I came here at the very end of the 1970s.
Yeah.
As back then you could do what was called a gap year.
A gap year.
A gap year. The idea was to do a gap year.
Right. Take a year off.
It was a year off.
Your life.
No, it was a year off between college and university. Oh, okay. That was the plan. And you could do that. It's not so easy to do it now.
Yeah.
But then it was relatively easy. You could defer application to university for a year, and you could just go to work.
That's a good year.
So the idea was I'd come here and spend a year working in a factory. And by the time I got here, and I'd done a couple of months' work, my college results came through, and they weren't great. Because I spent most of my time at college drinking beer.
Oh, okay, that's a good way of going.
So there was no university place to go to.
Right.
Because I essentially screwed up my college.
But where did you go to college?
Well, this was in England.
Yeah.
But I studied in Iceland. I got to college in Iceland as well.
Right.
But that was much later.
Yeah. But you studied in England, where? Where were you brought up? Where are you from?
In the south coast. In Dolesville by Sea, one of the most colourless, dull places. I shouldn't say that. near Portsmouth.
Actually, near Portsmouth. Yeah. Actually, pictures south coast of England more like Brighton.
Yeah, I come from a place that's about an hour's drive from Brighton. Yeah.
So you ended up in Iceland in your gap year?
Yes, and the gap year became a gap decade.
It became a gap decade?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, my college results weren't good enough to go to university, so there was no point going back.
Yeah.
So I just stayed here.
Doing what?
I worked at the net loft for quite some time. I worked in fish factories.
Knitting nets?
Braiding nets.
Braiding nets.
Making and repairing fishing gear, magic trawls, shrimp nets, gill nets, fish gear, all sorts. I was at sea for quite some years as well. I worked on trawlers.
Trawlers? The Icelandic winter?
Yeah. I went to college here as well.
Yeah.
I went to navigation college.
Oh, okay.
So I actually trained as a ship's officer. So I'm not trained as an author at all. My qualification is as a ship's officer.
Well, it's a sort of a navigation, isn't it?
You could call it that, yeah.
Navigating through a storyline, navigating through a character.
You have to navigate your way through a storyline, yes. So it's nice to have a few waypoints to rely on.
Know where you're going?
It helps. Well, I would like to know. I would like to know what that's like actually, because I don't tend to plan a great deal ahead.
Right. I remember when we were talking these years ago, I was struck by your proficiency in Icelandic.
Thank you.
And the way you sort of seem to grab the language and just make it your own. And you're fluent. And
Yeah, it's got rusty.
well, you're back here every year.
I try and get here a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
But I speak Icelandic every day.
Right.
And I read the papers and I listen to the radio.
Right.
My wife's from Iceland.
Yeah. So you have
So
Icelandic family.
we've always spoken Icelandic together.
And the kids,
Yeah, they understand. Some of them speak, some of them refuse to speak, but will do if they're forced to.
So in that period of time here in Iceland, how did, because it doesn't seem like your first part of your life you were, set on becoming a writer. How did that happen?
I fell into journalism by mistake, or by, let's say by accident rather than mistake. Writing about the maritime stuff that I've been working in, and I'm still a maritime journalist. So I write mostly about fishing, commercial fishing. I like quotas and radars and nets.
So you know all about
I know all the technical stuff,
and the disputes, fisheries.
Oh yes, the various cod wars and the various herring wars and the disputes over blue whiting and herring and all the rest of it.
But it's an interesting field. There's a lot of money.
It's an interesting industry. It's a very colourful industry as well, and in many ways it's a completely crazy industry. But it's fun to write about.
I mean, it's an industry that starts wars.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, and we're going to see a few more. Well, there was one this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was a scallop war between Britain and France only a few months ago.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it didn't last very long, but it may be a foretaste of things that I shouldn't talk about fish politics too much. But yeah, the journalism became. I've written a lot of news material. I've translated a lot of news material, technical stuff. I've written a couple of non-fiction books, edited some non-fiction books, and I thought it was time to give this fiction lark is a complete mug's game. So I had to give it a try.
And succeeded. I remember reading your first book, and it takes place in Iceland.
It takes place in Iceland, that was frozen out, which hasn't been translated into Icelandic.
Right.
The first two books haven't been translated. The third book is translated into Icelandic so far, which is called Blóðgull.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
Well, that's coming up now.
No, that's out already.
Oh, it's out.
It's out. It was out in print last year, and it's out on Storytel fairly soon.
Right. Exactly.
That's what
Getting that.
Chilled to the bone in English.
Yeah. It's actually a better title. And it's slightly different.
Yeah, but I like Blóðgull as well.
Yeah. It's a lie in there.
Yeah, and that one was fun to write as well.
What sort of schedule do you have as a writer? Do you say in these months you take special time you set that aside for working on the novels?
Not at all. No, I try and keep up it. I try and work on it all the time. So let's say evening time is novel writing time, but it's also translation time. I try not to let the stuff I like doing intrude on the day job during the day, and I try not to let the day job intrude on what the stuff I like doing in the evening. But it also depends on deadlines. If I have a deadline with a translation, I'll have to put everything into it to make sure it's done on time. You're a journalist, you know what it's like. You don't like to miss a deadline.
They can't be missed.
But then again, some people just love that whooshing sound as the deadline disappears into the distance. And I've never got used to that. So no, I like to hit a deadline. It doesn't always happen. But we've got translating for Arenda, which is Karen Sullivan's imprint. Karen's the last person in the world I would ever want to let down.
Right.
So I make sure it's done.
And so you've been translating Ragnar Jónsson.
Yep.
And now lately also Lilja Sigurðardóttir.
Yes. Yes.
our new princess.
Are you?
Thriller.
We can't call her the queen of Icelandic crime because that's Yrsa.
Yeah, that's why I said.
Princess or a duchess maybe, or
Duchess,
pretty
yeah.
high up anyway. Yeah.
She's really moving up there.
Yeah, she's pretty high up in the aristocracy there.
Yeah.
The Lydia stuff is fantastic.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, for me, it's really depressing because I'm translating Lydia's stuff and I'm trying to write my own stuff as well. And I read Lydia's stuff. How the hell can I do better than that?
Yeah.
And you can't.
It's challenging.
It's a real challenge. Yeah. I mean, Lydia really is genuinely destined for stardom. I think.
Yeah.
Her stuff is so hard-hitting, it's so imaginative, it's so emotional, it ticks every box you could want.
Right.
So yeah, her stuff is really fantastic.
Right. Does she remind you of your central character? Which is kind of a steady, similar plot. So,
My central character is a middle-aged, fairly staid, shall we say, very grounded person.
Yeah.
Feet very much on the ground.
yeah.
Even though all the world is maybe going to hell around her, she doesn't seem to lose her cool very often,
Yeah.
despite all the crap that I throw at her. I give her bigger and bigger challenges every time, and she just seems to wade through it without turning her head.
Somebody said, some critic said that you wanted to see a dark side in your character, in her, in Quentin.
Who said that?
There was some critic or some reader.
Okay.
You know, doesn't she have a dark side?
She does have a dark side, but yeah, it's hidden. It did come out in one of the books.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has demons, obviously, as any interesting character would have some kind of demons or baggage behind them. This is why, one of the reasons why an older character tends to be more interesting.
Yeah.
Because they have backstory, they have made mistakes, they've done stupid things.
Right.
So they have that experience behind them that makes them a more rounded character. Whereas young people tend to be pretty dull.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, she does have a dark side, and she does have demons, but she has a very long fuse. But when it does go off, then it may not be a good idea to be too close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These last 2 years we were talking about, I mean, it seems like your career, both your own writing career and then the translation, and then you're one of the organizers for this scene here now.
Oh, not this one.
Not this one,
No,
but
no.
you have been for Iceland Noir.
Yeah, for the first one it was Ragnar, Yrsa and I.
Yeah, you started it.
We started it, yeah, over beer and curry, which is where the best ideas always take place.
So, where do you see your career going now? Keeping on, you know, writing and translating.
I hope so. That would be ideal. Yeah. I don't see myself as having any kind of career in song and dance.
Yeah, I'm thinking whether the translation has become more time-consuming than.
Translation is taking up a steady amount of time at the moment. One year there were 3 translations, and it was just huge. That was when Ragnar's books were taking off. And I think I did 3 in 1 year, and I didn't write anything on my own for that year.
Do you feel that translating affects your style, or how does that work? Do you keep it separate?
I can keep them, somehow I can keep them separate completely.
Yeah.
It's the same toolbox,
Yeah,
different set of tools,
yeah.
but pretty much the same kind of toolbox.
Right. So it's like dipping into somebody else's toolbox instead of using their tools?
No, it's my toolbox. It's my toolbox, and everybody else should keep their fingers out of my toolbox, but it's not the tools on the same shelf.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting.
It's not the same set of spanners.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know yours, isn't it?
Yeah, they are.
there's no-
Yeah. But some translations are more challenging than others. interesting material is always better. Livia stuff is a dream to translate because you just want to find out what's happening next anyway. Other stuff is more challenging. Cav 79 was a huge challenge. It's Ingrid Georg-Thorsteinson's iconic book. That was translated for a small press in Britain. And that was
more nuanced,
and very much of its time as well, because it was published in the 1950s.
Arnaldur father.
Arnaldur's father, yeah. And I was astonished that the book had never been translated before.
Right.
Because it's such a... Iceland has such a fondness for this book, and it's such an important book. It was quite a real surprise that it had never been translated. But that was a challenge. It was hard work, and it wasn't easy. But it was enormously rewarding all the same, because it is such a magnificent book.
Very Icelandic also, but...
Very much so, yeah. But also so centred around that pivotal time in Iceland's modern history. In the years after the Second World War, when you had new ideas, new goods, new people. The American soldiers were here as well, which is an enormous part of the book as well. It was, very much a time of flux. Society was changing very rapidly, and not in a comfortable way either.
Exactly. It's the start of society moving into what we have now.
And it was Iceland being dragged into the 20th century, kicking and screaming. It was going to happen one way or the other, and it did. It was a fascinating thing to work on.
And actually, things that are happening right now in the country politics now is nationalism and international.
Absolutely, we've seen all these old ghosts coming back to life, which is disturbing. And I don't really think we ought to talk about Brexit.
We're not getting there.
I'm not sure my blood pressure would stand that.
No, mine neither. I just want to end on the scene here, the Icelandic crime scene, which is really flourishing, and the Nordic scene.
I can go on about that for hours. The Nordic, this is all being edited, isn't it?
Yeah, I hope so.
It's a little bit strange that all this, I won't say Scandinavian crime fiction, it's Nordic crime fiction in general, hasn't been a great deal of it in English until relatively recently. First there was Segðu mér sögu, all those years ago, the Swedish pair. And in English that was all we had. There was nothing else.
I
remember reading these books in the 70s when I was 14, 15. I remember stealing these books off my mum's bookshelf because she had the whole set of Segðu mér sögu, and they were the only Nordic crime fiction that had been translated. And we had to wait almost 20 years before Henning Mankell came along in translation. And then Henning Mankell, and then before that, the Missionaries Vision for Snow. Then came Stieg Larsson, for better or worse.
And television.
But following Stieg Larsson, then you had this avalanche. And it just exploded. But it was very much Sweden. And then Denmark and the series. And now we're getting sort of a repeat of that. But it was very much, but the focus was very much on Sweden. Maybe especially on Swedish TV. Things like The Bridge and Ireland, things like that. And then all the other Nordic countries have been drawn in as well. And it's interesting to see as well that people in maybe the UK and wider across Europe don't necessarily differentiate. They just see these Nordic countries and it's just a blue-eyed, blonde, homogeneous mass.
They all have white and blue titles and exactly. Snow and cold in them.
That's right, But these countries are very different. There are big differences between Iceland and Norway, and between Norway and Denmark, and rivalries and lots of shared histories. And they don't necessarily like each other very much all the time either.
Well, that's fascinating for the reader.
Absolutely, it is. It becomes it should be a voyage of discovery for the reader. You need to, your readers should you should set out to inform as well as entertain, ideally.
Reader and listener and watcher.
Yes, reader, listener, and watcher, all three.
Quentin, it's great to talk to you.
Thank you very much, Hamish.
Wish you good luck.
Thank you very much. Really enjoyed it.